Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Let your shoulders drop. Let the weight of the day fall away from your hands. Let the room around you grow still. There is nothing you need to carry right now. Tonight we will listen to a story from Exodus. The story of the burning bush. A shepherd sees a fire that does not consume. He turns aside. And on that ground, God speaks a name and gives a call. This is a story about ordinary ground becoming holy. About a quiet man being known by name. About a fire that burns gently and does not destroy. God did not shout from far away. He spoke from a bush on a hillside, close enough to hear. He called Moses by name, and Moses said, "Here I am." Tonight, as we begin, remember this. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. Moses had been in Midian for 40 years. 40 years is a long time to be quiet. He had once lived in the palace of Egypt. He had once walked among princes and servants and gold. But that was far behind him now. He had fled Egypt after striking down an Egyptian. He had run from Pharaoh and from his old life. And the desert received him. In Midian, he married Zipporah, the daughter of Jethro. He tended his father-in-law's flock. He learned the paths through the hills and the dry places. He knew where the water lay and where the shade fell. The years passed without fanfare. No one in Midian called him prince. No one spoke of Egypt or of his early years. He was simply a shepherd walking the land. He was no longer the man who had fled. He was not yet the man who would return. He was in between, and the wilderness held him there. Sometimes the quietest years are where God does the deepest work. The hidden years are not wasted. You can rest in that. One day Moses led the flock to the far side of the wilderness. Past the familiar paths, past the usual grazing grounds. He came to Horeb, the mountain of God. Though he did not yet know it by that name. There, on the mountainside, he saw something strange. A bush was burning with fire. The flames moved through the branches, bright and alive. But the bush was not consumed. The leaves did not curl and blacken. The thorns did not crumble to ash. The fire burned steadily, gently, as though it belonged there. As though the bush and the flame were at peace with one another. Moses stopped. He said to himself, "I will turn aside to see this great sight. Why is the bush not burned up?" He did not keep walking. He did not look away and continue with his sheep. He turned toward the strange and quiet fire. And that turning was the beginning of everything. Sometimes the most important moment is simply the decision to look. To pause and pay attention to what God is doing nearby. You can rest. When the Lord saw that Moses had turned aside to look, God called to him from the bush. Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. 2 words, given simply. No preparation, no rehearsal. Just presence offered in reply to a voice that knew his name. Then God said, Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet. For the place on which you are standing is holy ground. The ground had looked like any other ground. Dust and stone and dry earth under the open sky. But God was present there, and that made it holy. The ordinary became sacred because God chose to speak in that place. Moses removed his sandals. He stood with bare feet on the earth. And he hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. There was no temple on that mountain. No altar, no lampstand, no curtain. Only a bush, a fire, a shepherd, and the voice of the living God. That was enough. Wherever God speaks, the ground becomes holy. You can rest on that ground. Then God spoke from the fire. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings. 3 things God said he had done. He had seen. He had heard. He knew. And then a 4th. I have come down to deliver them. God did not only observe from a distance. He came down. And he said to Moses, Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people out of Egypt. Moses answered quietly, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? Who am I that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? He did not feel ready. He did not feel qualified. He had been a shepherd for 40 years, not a leader of nations. But God did not call him because he was ready. God called him because God had heard the cry. You are heard tonight as well. You can rest. Moses asked God a question. If I go to the people of Israel and say the God of your fathers has sent me, they will ask, What is his name? What shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. Tell them I am has sent you. A name that holds all time. Not I was, though he was. Not I will be, though he will be. I am. Present and complete and unending. The God of Abraham, of Isaac, of Jacob. This is my name forever, God said. This is my memorial name to all generations. Moses listened. And God gave signs so that the people might believe. He told Moses to throw his staff on the ground, and it became a serpent. Moses drew back from it. God told him to take it by the tail, and it became a staff again. Then God said, Put your hand inside your cloak. Moses did, and when he drew it out, his hand was leprous, white as snow. He put it back, and it was restored, clean and whole. Signs of power given gently. A name spoken clearly. I am is near, and he does not forget. You can rest. Even after the name and the signs, Moses still hesitated. He said, "O Lord, I am not eloquent. I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." God answered, "Who has made man's mouth? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what to speak." Still Moses asked, "Please send someone else." And God's anger kindled, but he did not take back the call. Instead, he gave Moses his brother Aaron as a spokesman. "You shall speak to Aaron, and he shall speak to the people." So Moses went back to Jethro and said, "Let me return to Egypt to see whether my brothers are still alive." And Jethro said, "Go in peace." Moses took his wife and his sons. He took the staff of God in his hand. And he set out for Egypt. He carried with him the name of God. He carried the promise of deliverance. He carried the memory of a fire that burned but did not consume. The bush had stopped burning. But the word of God had not stopped speaking. It was alive in Moses as he walked. And it is alive still. You are held by that same word tonight. You can rest. Now the story can grow quieter. No new scene is needed. Only the truths that remained beneath every scene. The ground was holy. The bush burned and was not consumed. The fire was gentle and did not destroy. God called Moses by name. Not by title, not by role. By his own name, spoken twice. God heard the cry of his people. He saw their affliction. He knew their sufferings. And he came down. You are known by name tonight. You are heard tonight. Not from far away, but close. The way a voice comes from a bush on a quiet hillside. The ground is holy. God knows your name. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The fire was gentle. It did not consume the bush. It did not scorch the ground. It burned with a warmth that held rather than destroyed. The ground held Moses. Bare feet on the earth, and the earth was steady. Holy ground does not shift or give way. It holds you where you stand. God's voice was near. Not distant thunder, not a roar from the sky. A voice from a bush, close enough to answer. Close enough to hear your breath. You are standing on ground that is held. You can take off the weight. The way Moses took off his sandals. You can set down what you have been carrying. Let your thoughts grow smaller now. Let your breathing slow. Let the fire be gentle around you. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. The fire is gentle. You can rest. The ground is holy. The fire is gentle. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest. The ground is holy. God knows your name. The fire is gentle. You are heard. You are held. You can rest.